Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday. I got 2 people on. Happy Saturday. We ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. We just want to just come on just to drop some motivation, encouragement for this better journey to wholeness, guys. So we're not gonna take too much of your time. Okay, Anzia, you're here. My guest is here, Anzia Dionne. She's here. So Anzia, I'm about to bring you on the camera. Let's see how this goes. Let's add. Okay, woo! You was able to do this first time, first try.
Hey, April.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
good. I'm good, girl. I'm good. Good, good.
That's
So far, how you
good.
doing?
I'm doing good.
It's good. Good, good. You got any plans for the day? What you got? What you gonna do after
Um,
this?
right now I'm here at the mall. My daughter wanted to come out, so I'm sitting out here outside, and I guess I'll go in there and check it out and see what they got going on.
Okay, okay. So with that being said, I know it's Saturday, a lot of people out and about, so I ain't gonna keep you long. And then what's gonna happen? People watch the replay. You know, some people they'll come on or whatever, so
Hmm.
they'll watch the replay. So, you know, that's a good thing. If a lot of people don't come on now. So,
Yeah, it's been a
Anzia,
long time since I been on Facebook. Was Meta Live now, but last time
yeah.
I've been on it was Facebook Live. I used to have a business coach, and we would come on and do different things, and it's been a long time. I was fine, but it seemed like right before I started to get nervous, like, oh god.
But you know what, Anzia, I be nervous too. I really do. I don't know if you can know some of my nervous ticks. Like a lot of time I be doing this, I'll rub my arm or I'll start
Hmm.
stuttering. So I'm nervous too. But I try to just push through. I say my little quick prayer and I push through it. It's like especially if you haven't done it in a while. So
Hmm.
I mean that's what's up. So Anzia, we're gonna talk a little bit. I want you to share a little bit of you know what I'm saying of your story. And I told them I know on Friday, I mentioned that you just passed the NCE test for the counseling exam. And that's a big major accomplishment. So I want you to kind of talk about that. You know, like your motivation and how you was able to do it, like your support team and kind of what pushed you to for that big accomplishment, you know, because I know that wasn't easy. And
Hmm.
basically you did it because you got 2 kids and you still was able to do that. So I'm gonna start off by letting the people tell me a little bit about tell the people about yourself. I know you, but tell the people about yourself and whatever you feel free to share. Just starting off.
All right. To start off with, my name is Anzia Timmons. Um, Formerly Anzia Timmons, MS LPCA. What that means is that I'm a licensed professional counselor associate. And that means that I am a licensed counselor, but I am under supervision and I have to meet with my supervisor once a week. So I am accepting new patients, by the way. A
Okay.
plug. I can accept Medicaid, Humana, Aetna, and Cigna, I think. Currently work at Bass Psychological Services, and I am accepting new patients. I can see individuals of all ages. Right now, the youngest I have seen is 3 years old, but I will also work with elderly. Um, as far as the test, it wasn't easy preparing for that test. That was my second time taking the test, the NMHCE. I decided on that one because I have test anxiety, so I pushed through that. I got the accommodations from my doctor to where I could get some extra time. So because the test is time and you can see them clocking the time and it goes down, and that in itself, I think the first time I failed the test was because of anxiety. To be honest with you, because it started to get down to the last few minutes and the questions. Um, the format is different from the NCE, which is just like a bunch of putting a random questions in the cup and shaking them up and just picking them out at random. Whereas the NCE is the NMHC is scenario based, and you answer questions based on scenarios. So it took a lot of study time. I used every bit of free time I got, finding time at home, finding time during lunch breaks at work, any quiet time, riding home in the car. There was a podcast I would listen to. I joined groups on Facebook, and I met some people in the study group the first time around. So I pretty much used a lot of different resources.
Okay. So how many months were you studying preparing before you actually went and took the test?
Um, let's see, probably like you can do it like within 3 months as long as you zone in on your time and plan it accordingly.
Mhm.
But it could be like 6 months. I think it was 6 months. I took the first time I took it was in June of 2024, and I went back and took it again in April of 2025, June or July of 2024. And I
Okay.
took some time out to give my brain some breaks, and then I got back into it. And the more time you want to stretch it out across time, it gives you more time to prepare. Even like 3 months, even I would say 3 months at the minimum, because you're not crunching down on it and stressing your brain out. Because as a mama, you got to be flexible and give time to your kids. Give time. You got to do your work. You got to do your job. You got to take care of your other responsibilities. So you want to stretch it out a little bit.
So Anzia, tell me about that. So with that, with studying for the test, and then like we're working at counseling and things like that. Like how was did that like affected or impacted or anything went lacking? Or you felt like anything went lacking, kind of like studying in and zoning in for that test? Like did you felt like something was lacking at some point? You just like,
Um,
or did you have how was your support system or team with this? I guess I mean that.
always, I mean, I always got a good support system. It definitely takes a village to raise a child, but for me, I basically have my routine in place. I would just more so use my free time instead of doing things like I wanted to do. I started to weave it into my daily life now. In my free time, I like to watch TikTok. I like to watch YouTube. So I found TikTok channels about the test. Hannah Salazar, I think she's the good neuron. If anybody is preparing, and YouTube, I found a lot of YouTube channels. You also have to find out what your style of learning is. I'm auditory and I'm hands-on. I learned that later in graduate school. I wish I would have zoned in it on the earlier school, but it's better late than never. But I really learned things by listening to it and by taking time to listen to it and hear it over and over again. It'll kind of start to stick to my brain. And then I also learned by doing practice tests and quizzes and things.
Okay, so while you was okay, so at the time, like before you passed the test, like the stuff that you was learning, like with the audio and with the books, were you using some of those things like with your patients? Like some of the
Yeah,
stuff, like I guess like the CBT or whatever, whatever motivational interviewing, was you using that in counseling sessions that you was
it
learning while
did.
you was studying?
I did because it kind of brought it back to my forefront. Basically, when you're in the session, you're really not thinking, okay, I'm gonna use. Sometimes you go into the session going, but the session can take a turn, so you're really not theory focused. But sometimes those ideas will come up. Okay, maybe I can use this technique. They're not talking, so maybe I can use motivational interviewing here to get them to open up some, talk a little bit about their hobbies and interests, and then um, what is it? I don't remember it now because I'm out of studying mode. Um, the skill where you can share some of your life, but not too much to where it interferes with the client session. I was more loose with that than I was like. You can share like things that you relate to them and share. Okay, I'm going through this experience too, but you're not giving them the full detail, your full story, just to
God,
let them know that you understand what they're going through.
would that be more like self-disclosure? Would that be like person-centered? I'm trying, girl, I'm trying to learn
person
yourself. Is that
person centered, I think, is more so like focusing on the client and their needs, but I think it is self. I can't remember what the
Disclosure?
formal term was. I'm out of practice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But
That was a lot of
eventually, I do
training.
plan to. I don't have to, but I went to school to be a marriage and family therapist. So I did the LPC first because I had dual enrollment, and marriage and family therapy test is a little bit more expensive. And I took that one time before I even started trying to be a LPC. I think I'm going to try that again. So I will be going back in study mode for that soon.
Okay, cool. Okay, you keeping it going. So
Yeah.
what made you decide to go to school? I want you to do this career as a counselor. What was your thing that made you, okay, I want to go to school for counseling and this is what my career going to be. I'm gonna stick with this. Like what drove you to that?
It all started with the intro to psychology class in college. I thought when I went to college, I first thought I wanted to be a doctor, but I got in those higher level biology classes, and life told me different. I wasn't really interested in that. And then I took the intro to psych, which is probably psych 101. And I was genuinely interested in what the professor was talking about. That was one class where I didn't find myself having to study hard or use the flashcards or it was more like recall because like I was saying, my auditory learning, I didn't realize, now that I think back on it, I really was using it then. I was listening to the lectures, listening to what the professor was saying. So when it came time to study, it would be more like committing it to memory. And then the test, it would be easier to recall. So it's like it came to me naturally. From there, I learned that I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician at first, and then I learned, he said that you can still be a doctor, a PhD psychologist, or an MD, a psychiatrist. So I was like, okay, well, I can still go along this path to be a doctor. And taking more psychology classes, I started to do the research, and I realized I could be a counselor from that. I still, at some point, I do want to go back and get the doctorate in psychology, the PhD. I think I want to do clinical psychology, but I'm trying to take care of these licensures first.
Yeah, girl, you doing it. So you eventually want to do like your own practice.
Not in the near future,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point, yeah, because it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So right now, kind of what I'm doing, I'm just learning. Right now, I could just go to work, counsel, and the office that I work at, they take care of the billing and everything. But when you run your own practice, you're the receptionist, you're the biller, you're the manager. You got to wear so many hats. So right now, I'm just enjoying walking in and being a therapist.
That's what's up. What's up? Okay, so what advice could you give to someone, even if it's not in the field of counseling, that somebody, they want to get certified or they, they got kids and are they a caregiver for their parents or whomever, but they want to keep pushing. And like life right now is life. And what advice would you give to someone dealing in that?
Don't give up. My life, my pattern, the way things unfolded for me was unconventional. I had my daughter when I was 21. I was still in college. It threw me off track, but having her kind of motivated me to keep going and just not stop and just keep going and showing her a different level of life. And so that what motivated me. Life happened. A lot of curveballs was thrown in the way. College, look, what anybody say was a professional college student, that was once me. Not that I didn't have the motivation. It took me longer than most. It took me 7 years to get my undergraduate degree. That might be embarrassing for somebody to say, but I didn't give up. I kept going. I pushed through, and I finally got it in the end. So I had the baby, then I got married, and I waited. So I wanted to wait some time for my son to come. By the time he came, I was in graduate school, and the last class that we had to take before internship, as a matter of fact, I was pregnant with him when I was doing papers and stuff. I had a paper due for the last, I think that was our final class right before internship. And I had a paper that was due. And I was like, I hope this baby come. I hope this baby comes. So I stayed up, I typed the paper, and I finished it. I stayed up late that night, finished the paper. Next morning, I woke up, labor happened. So by the
Dang.
time I had him, it was the end of the semester, and by the time I had him, I was able to just, after he was born and everything, I was just able to edit the paper and turn it in. So just keep going, don't stop. No matter what it looks like, life is going to happen, but don't let that stop you. Just keep going.
Okay. And I got one more question for you. How do you decompress after like a heavy clinic day, or say this was like a day where like the client just had so much and it was like a long session. How do you decompress after a day of work like that?
Um, you got to have those hobbies, whatever it is. So most people think self care got to be extreme, like shopping or going to get your nails done, your hair done, things like that. That's not necessary. Just find those hobbies. Like for me, that's reading. It's binge watching TV shows. You know, we love our Real Housewives of Atlanta
You
and
know that.
our reality shows that we love to watch. Those I like to catch up on any TV show, or just lately I even enjoy sitting on my front porch. You got to create your house into those different areas using all the spaces in the areas that you like. Yes, my living room is one, my room is one, my backyard is one, the front porch is one, and I even got a desk in my living room. Sometimes I just sit there. If I just sit there and just find things to do on the computer that I can catch up on.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I got this my last one. This I just not thought about something you were saying about the housewives and all this stuff we watch. Okay, so how do you separate? Okay, how do you not allow that the fun stuff to interfere with the business stuff? Like how do you separate that? How you stay focused whenever you had like a say you went to like a concert that weekend, but you got to get back in that mode Monday. How do you prepare for yourself mentally for that? How you separate all the fun from okay, I got to get this done. This is important.
Um, when I worked for the state, things were more fast paced and it was harder to do that now. But where I am right now in private practice, it's kind of, yes, we can make our schedule to where it's back to back to back, but where mine is, it's kind of spaced out. So it gives me some space to breathe. Sometimes I have back to back clients, but it's like two at a time. But when it comes to TV and like reality shows and stuff, I watch shows like if you're saying business wise, that I'm thinking that makes me think about the wig side of things. And the wig
Mhm.
side of things, while I was sewing a wig or whatever, I would I would watch a TV show because I learned to multitask. That would be like my entertainment or background noise while I'm sewing a wig or working on something. I would just kind of glance back and forth and just do what I'm doing. Um, you just have to learn to take that time. You can't take work home. When I started counseling at my first internship site, the person taught me if I didn't learn anything else from there, it I did learn a lot from there. But that's how I learned the intro into what it takes to run in practice every day. Because I used to have to help her out a lot, but that's beside the point. But I learned from her that she didn't take work home. There will always be some complicated cases. You got to learn to switch your mind off and just go into home mode. Don't take work home. I'm not typing no notes at home. I'll do that when I get back to work. Like in times when I'm
Mhm.
not seeing clients and stuff, that's when I'll type my notes so I can turn it off.
But you know, Angela, you put me on game with that. Y'all just be bringing work home all the time. Like if you better
Can't
stop
do that.
taking that work home, leave it at work.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I'm like, dang,
You'll
stage
be
is
at
like,
home, right? You'll
mhm,
be at home as you type those notes. I know at PD when you have to do those assessments and stuff, you'll be thinking about what's going on with that client again. I mean, naturally you
mhm,
think about your clients because it's your job, but if you type in a note form, it's going to bring all of that back to the forefront. And it's going to make it even harder to push it to the side.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you had to help me out with that. I said, man, and I noticed the difference when I started. Okay, I'm gonna make my little sticky notes. I pick that up and before I start my first client. That has helped
Mm-hmm.
me out. Like home gonna be home, work is gonna be work. I'm not.
Yep.
So that really helped me out a whole lot with that.
You got to work on your business and your free time at home. Think about your
Mhm.
business and how you can grow, like do for your future. That's what your free time is about, because you're not supposed to be doing those things during work time. Use your work time for the plan for your future and what you want to do. What's next?
That's what's up. So y'all, so this was Anzia, and if you have like any questions, are you in the counseling field? And as do you mind they reach out to you? If anybody like watching this, they in counseling or they need some advice on like getting tests ready, anything like that, do you mind them?
No, I don't mind. You can reach out
Okay.
to me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on all platforms is Anzia Dionne. If you're interested in wig content, I'm on everything is Distinguished Crowns. Distinguished Crowns, that's Instagram. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And that's some other things about me. I talk a lot about the mental health side, but like I do dabble in YouTube and TikTok every now and then. I don't do it as much as I would want to, but that's something I also do. It just shows a different side of me.
That's what's up. So far with the wig, tell me a little bit about that. I know we talked about counseling, but so what services you provide with the wigs?
So I actually have a certification for that. I'm a cranial prosthesis specialist, which means that I can make wigs for people who are medically diagnosed with hair loss, and they can bill their insurance. Like if you have cancer, alopecia, or thyroid, any conditions that's causing you, medical conditions or stressors that's causing you to lose your hair, I can make a wig for that, and it will be paid for if it's covered through your insurance. With that, I kind of put that on the back burner to focus on counseling, but I'm kind of getting back into that. So I have to, on that side, I have to apply to be accepted by some insurance companies, and that's not an easy process, but I'm going to work on it.
Okay, okay. So is there anything else you want to add? This was good, Angie. And I'm saying I'm glad, we was able to do this. It's
Thank
very
you for
informative.
having me, because
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
glad
really know me, you know I don't really do this, but lately I'm been trying to do things to get out of my shell. I feel like
yeah.
I have a lot to share with the world, and it's
Hmm.
not doing me no good trying to hold it in.
Yeah, yeah. And your videos are good,
Thank
so
you.
we're gonna try to push those out. Um,
Yes.
so
I might
y'all
need
follow
your help
her.
with that. I might need you to coach me through that.
Yeah, girl, I got you. You got me. I got you. I got you. So in the meantime, y'all follow her here on Facebook and the other socials she mentioned. Guys, feel free to drop in the comments. Drop your businesses down in the comments too. If you have a business, drop that down in the comments so we can all be aware of it. You know what I'm saying? You might have a service that we need. Drop your businesses in the comments. Drop down whatever your careers is, because you never know, somebody here in the comments might be doing some of the same things that you're doing, and they could be able to help you, give you tips and points on how to optimize on your career and business and things like that, because we want to be our best and feel our best. That's what all this about. Better Journey to Wholeness is about collaborating and connecting with people in a positive way, like-minded. So feel free to drop the stuff down. It's a friendly platform. So that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? This was good. So guys, yeah, comment if you like it. Put some fire in the comments. Drop your businesses and your career, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and head off, y'all. So y'all can have a great weekend and self-care.
All
So
right.
all right, appreciate you, Anzia.
All right. Thank you for having me.
You welcome. Right, all right, bye bye, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.